Maayong adlaw, buenos dias, magandang araw sa lahat ng manonood. Ito ang Kapihan sa Rehiyon, Nueve, kung saan makakasama natin ang iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno upang ihayag ang kanilang mga programa at serbisyo. We are live via PIA Western Mindanao Facebook page, and of course, we would like to welcome all our Pagadian and Zamboanga del Sur media who are with us today and all our live viewers. Later po, you can comment down sa ating live kung ano po inyong mga katanungan, and we will try to answer all your questions. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon sa ating programa ang mga hakbang at programang isinusulong ng Mindanao Development Authority or MinDA upang higit na mapaunlad ang Zamboanga Peninsula at iba pang mga rehiyon sa Mindanao. Let's welcome our guest po. Hindi na natin patatagalin pa. First, let's welcome Sir Carlos Cerezo, the Development Management Officer 5 of the Area Management Office of Western Mindanao, MinDA.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Ay buntag.
And of course, together with him, we have Ma'am Cecil Laplana, Development Management Officer 3 of Area Management Office din ng Western Mindanao.
Maayong buntag, Zamboanga Peninsula.
Together with them are their partners, no, at yung kanilang mga linkages po. Let's welcome, we have Ms. Hazel Lu, the President of Pagadian Zamboanga del Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Foundation, Incorporated.
Good morning, everyone.
Magandang araw. And lastly po, we have Ms. Jane Candol Llanera, the Knowledge Transfer Manager of East-West Seed Company Incorporated.
Maayong adlaw sa tanan.
Ayun, let's welcome all our guests po. Later on, we will have a chance to ask your questions po sa kanilang mga organisasyon at sa kanilang mga opisina. But first of all, let's know more about our program or the programs and activities po and projects, of course, ng Mindanao Development Authority or MinDA sa buong Zamboanga Peninsula and of course sa buong Mindanao.
Para po sa kapakanan ng lahat, nais ko pong ipakilala kung ano po itong Mindanao Development Authority. Ito po ay tinatag sa pamamagitan ng Republic Act RA 9996. It's the lead agency that is responsible in promoting, coordinating, facilitating, and promote the participation of the various stakeholders in the economic growth of Mindanao. It is a what you call institutional mechanism that provides direction in terms of inter-regional connectivity, the security, the development, and the cross-border trade. And we are lucky because we have here our partners in the development sectors and Chamber and Commerce as well. We have here Ms. Hazel Lu, the President of the Pagadian Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated. And then ang acting partner sa East-West, si Jane, Miss Jane. Siya po yung partner natin in terms of yung pag-i-implement ng ating what you call Overseas Development Assistance, partnership with the Korean government as well, yung BKCF. Bigyan po natin sila ng pagkakataon na magpapakilala.
Yes, thank you, Sir Carly. I am Hazel Lu, the current president of the Pagadian CDS Chamber of Commerce and Industry Foundation Incorporated. We are the local chamber of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we are happy to be here with you today. Thank you.
Okay. Again, maayong buntag sa tanan, and I am Jane Candol Llanera. I am the Knowledge Transfer Manager of East-West Seed, Knowledge Transfer Philippines. It's a non-profit development organization, and we're working with smallholder farmers across the Philippines. Currently, meron kaming ini-implement na project across Zamboanga Peninsula, as Sir Carlito mentioned earlier. It's a partnership with a BKCF, and yung pondo is co-shared with them and of course with our organization. And later, I can discuss more on what we are doing on the ground and how we create value para sa farmers, para sa general consumers, and even for the whole agri-industry sa Zampen, specific sa ating smallholder farmers.
Just to add up, MinDA is the Philippine Coordinating Office of the BIMP-IAGA. So that's the very mandate that we were created. What is BIMP-IAGA? That's the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area. And I would like to highlight on behalf of Western Mindanao that we have various engagement in not just Zampen but Western Mindanao, since our area of configuration for our group here is Western Mindanao. So just to give highlight on what we have done in Western Mindanao, our partner is under the BIMP-IAGA BKCF program, and the very project is named Sustainable Intensification Through Vegetables Intercropping in Perennial Crops Farming Systems in Zampen. We have also other partner not present today, but it's within the MinPAD's paid program of MinDA. The project is mobilizing inclusive local investments for poverty reduction, sustainable development, and peace. That is with ZABIDA, Zamboanga Basilan Integrated Development Alliance. And this one, we would like to highlight, ito kasi yung pinakamalaki, big impact, big ticket project of MinDA in Western Mindanao. That's the RETS, or Renewable Technology for Seaweed Value Added in Tawi-Tawi. And lastly, ito yung pinaka-felt within Region 9. Of course, amin yung technical assistance because we are not an implementing agency. Ito yung Improving Growth Corridors in Mindanao Road Sector Project. So, these are big ticket projects na with assistance of our partners. So, ODA siya. Meaning to say internationally funded government, be it G2G. So I'm going to give this more emphasis to our head, Sir Carly Cerezo. Sir.
We would like to invite everyone to please watch the MinDA's accomplishments. Thank you.
In many parts of the BIMP-IAGA region, opportunity does not arrive all at once. It is built step by step, community by community. Not long ago, across the maritime borders of the sub-region between Tawi-Tawi and Lahadatu, a fast-craft ferry service began to operate, opening a new chapter in cross-border connectivity. What was once a difficult journey is now faster, easier, and more accessible, empowering local communities on both sides to business, bringing new energy to everyday life in the region. Just as local micro and small entrepreneurs seek greater access to the digital economy, private sector players across the sub-region have come together to establish startup and innovation hubs throughout BIMP-IAGA. These hubs serve as gateways for MSMEs to access digital skills development, incubation support, mentorship, and online business networks. Alongside these private sector-led initiatives, local governments have also stepped up their engagement across the sub-region. The municipality of Nara in Palawan, Philippines is forging direct market linkages with Brunei Darussalam, beginning with contract rice farming and market integration. To date, a memorandum of commercial intent has been signed with Wasan Milling of Brunei Darussalam, covering the development of a 200-hectare rice production area.
Wala po kaming nakitang ganong sistema ng programa nung pumasok po kami ng munisipyo. Kaya inaral po namin ito at nagkaroon po kami ng pagkakataon na makadalaw sa Brunei at nagkaroon po ng magandang pag-uusap. Ito na po ngayon ang naging resulta.
The groundbreaking for the farm-to-market road has also been completed, utilizing Brunei Darussalam's technology.
Our friendship between Philippines and Brunei. So now we bring technologies we call polymer, which is to improve our road system, sub-base of system. The technology is already since 2016. We implement this technology in Brunei, Indonesia, and Thailand.
Soon, this project will expand to include the participation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, positioning the region as a key supplier of agricultural produce and livestock. What is currently happening between Brunei Darussalam and the Philippines followed similar joint bilateral undertakings across the sub-region. Since 2016, a power interconnection project between West Kalimantan and Sarawak has been established, linking Indonesia and Malaysia through a shared energy system, delivering reliable electricity where it is needed most. What began as a single cross-border connection has grown into a vital source of power, supplying clean hydropower from Sarawak to West Kalimantan, reducing dependence on diesel and lowering energy cost. Supported by partners such as the Asian Development Bank, it contributes to the broader vision of an integrated ASEAN power grid. Another breakthrough development in the sub-region is the strong and growing engagement with international development partners. The establishment of the BIMP-IAGA Republic of Korea Cooperation Fund, or BKCF, has provided vital funding support for projects that deliver meaningful and lasting impact to local communities. The developing land management options for diverse cacao-based system was among the first few projects funded under the BKCF facility.
Ang farmer sa una, sige lang tanong, wala kay balo og suitable ba ang kanang cacao diri sa area. So kanit nga proyekto, nakaibalo na sila nga suitable ang cacao ug naay dapat i-correct sa mga nutrient nga ilang kinahanglan sa ilang hita.
Since its inception in 2022, the project has directly benefited agrarian reform beneficiaries and smallholder cacao farmers in Mindanao and delivered clear results, including higher cacao yields and year-round income by intercropping. This project also utilizes sustainable farming systems that balance productivity with climate-smart practices. These are just a few of the milestone projects that have transformed lives across the sub-region's less developed communities, bringing opportunities closer to where they are needed most. As we look ahead, the BIMP-IAGA Vision 2035 calls on the sub-region to soar, becoming socially inclusive, open, aligned, and resilient. Together, we move forward, more connected, ready to navigate our future as one BIMP-IAGA.
In 2025, the Mindanao Development Authority strengthened its role as Mindanao's lead coordinating body, bringing together government, the private sector, and communities to advance peace, growth, and sustainable development across the island. The agency continued to champion the vision of building a better Mindanao, aligned with the national development agenda of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. In northern Mindanao, MinDA facilitated interagency coordination for the Balingoan port, supporting its continued development as a vital maritime gateway, linking Mindanao to island destinations and strengthening tourism and local economies. In Davao City, MinDA supported national government efforts in advancing landmark projects such as the Bocana Bridge, a key component of the Davao City Coastal Bypass Road that enhances traffic flow and urban connectivity. The agency also supported coordination efforts for the Davao City Bypass construction project, which reached a major milestone in 2025 with a successful breakthrough of its mountain tunnels, paving the way for faster, safer travel between Davao region and neighboring provinces. Beyond infrastructure, MinDA continued to push for a balanced and resilient energy future for Mindanao. In addition to supporting clean energy dialogues and renewable energy initiatives, MinDA worked with partners under the BIMP-IAGA Republic of Korea Cooperation Fund to bring solar power solutions to vulnerable and off-grid communities. In island and disaster-prone areas such as Siargao, these solar installations help provide reliable electricity to support recovery, livelihoods, and community resilience, demonstrating how clean energy can directly serve people on the ground. Recognizing technology as a key enabler of inclusive growth, MinDA expanded digital connectivity and international cooperation in 2025. Through strategic partnerships, MinDA facilitated the deployment of satellite internet systems, including Starlink units, to selected indigenous and geographically isolated communities, improving access to education, information, and essential digital services. At the GovTech Mindanao Summit in Davao, MinDA forged partnership with the Unconnected Foundation to boost disaster response capabilities in Mindanao through the provision of free networking equipment and satellite-based connectivity kits. 2025 was also a fruitful year for promoting Mindanao to the rest of the world. In Brunei Darussalam, MinDA co-organized the BIMP Iaga Business Mission. Here, partnerships flourished in halal development, agribusiness, and digital innovation, solidifying Mindanao's role as a strategic ASEAN anchor. MinDA also led the Philippines-Malaysia Business Networking Session. Investors showed strong interest in agribusiness, infrastructure, and renewable energy, signaling confidence in Mindanao's future. And in South Korea, 5 memoranda of understanding were signed with leading firms covering nickel processing, traffic and safety technologies, water treatment, renewable energy, and solar infrastructure. Together, these missions attracted new partnerships, boosted investor confidence, and opened pathways for jobs, industrial diversification, and sustainable growth across Mindanao. In 2025, MinDA stepped up its drive for public-private partnerships. Through a series of PPP clinicking sessions, the agency worked hand-in-hand with local governments, helping them refine proposals and shape projects that are truly investment-ready. The year also marked the launch of the PPP Desk in Mindanao, a dedicated hub designed to connect government and investors more efficiently. With the PPP Desk in place, projects can now move faster, investor confidence grows stronger, and communities begin to see more infrastructure and services taking shape. MinDA launched Building a Better Mindanao as a unifying framework. Development partners, including the European Union, joined in, advancing projects from coffee value chains to cooperative strengthening. In response to growing climate and disaster risk, MinDA advanced discussions on strengthening Mindanao's disaster preparedness framework. Among the initiatives explored was the proposal to establish a Mindanao Disaster Resilience Center, envisioned as a hub for coordination, capacity building, and rapid response aimed at helping communities prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters more effectively. While facilitating big-ticket initiatives and attracting international interest, MinDA remained firmly grounded in grassroots development, ensuring that growth reaches communities and livelihoods. In Taraca, Lanao del Sur, MinDA supported the establishment of a modern rice processing system, improving post-harvest efficiency and increasing income opportunities for local farmers. In Davao City's Kalinan and Tugbok districts, MinDA partnered with Koika and development organizations to support durian farmers, strengthening production, value adding, and market access. The agency also facilitated initiatives that enabled the bulk shipment and consolidation of agricultural products, helping Mindanao farmers access broader markets and reduce logistical constraints. MinDA sustained its governance and planning mandate through regular board meetings, bringing together agency leadership and sector representatives to review priorities, align policies, and guide Mindanao's development direction. As these milestones continue to take shape, MinDA remains committed to convening partners, strengthening collaboration, and translating plans into tangible results for the people of Mindanao. We are building a better Mindanao. Today and for generations to come.
Thank you very much, Minda, for the presentation of your projects and accomplishment po all over Mindanao and of course including Zamboanga Peninsula or Western Mindanao. With that po, we will now be heading on our question and answer portion. So we will encourage our media partners and even our live viewers to ask your questions sa ating comment section and we will try to read it and answer all your questions. And you may address po sa any of our resource person ngayon na kasama natin sa ating programa. First of all po, we would like to know muna can you share with us an overview of the projects or ongoing or upcoming projects in the region of Zamboanga Peninsula? Baka po may ma-share si Minda po. We have Sir Carlos.
Yeah. I would like to encourage my partner here who is in the operations as well to share to us what had been achieved by the MinDA in as far as Western Mindanao is concerned. May I respectfully allow Ms. Cecil to share to us?
I would like to highlight two. One would be on the energy. The energy project namin is actually located in Zamboanga, Sibugay, and we call it Renew Stable Energy Project in Olatanga Island. Definitely it's Olatanga Island because they are not part of the mainland. Tapos they badly need the energy. Quality of energy in the island is a very big problem. So we have that. As to the timeline, we are really hitting, and we had actually a meeting yesterday in relation to its update. So we are now at the final distribution impact study. So we are on the second year of our technical assistance, and we are really looking forward that in a year's time, we have the final approval of the operating contract with the OE. And that's going to be, if we are to hit the timeline, it's going to be by December. And hopefully, just like with our project in Tawi-Tawi, on the solar farm in Tawi-Tawi, it's usually a standard of 4 to 5 years for its full commission, meaning to say mag-ooperate. So that's on the energy na side. But in relation to energy, we also had this engagement with UNOPS, United Nations Project Services Office. It's on the Mindanao Energy Plan. It's actually a review of that Mindanao Energy Plan. Na-trigger yun siya sa ginawa ng MinDA Western Mindanao Grupo on the Zamboanga Peninsula Power and Energy Roadmap back in 2024. Kailangan kasi natin i-review because we need to know kung ano yung share natin on renewable energy because that is the mandate ng national. Kailangan natin malaman kung gaano kalaki ang requirement in terms of energy requirement and demand ng Zamboanga Peninsula. So we need to review everything, and that triggered yung ZAMPA natin na plan that triggered the review of the entire Mindanao Energy Plan that is already on the table right now. So more kasi kami sa technical assistance. So that's one. We are facilitating investments. And on the other hand, dun tayo punta sa mariculture na side because our corridor, Western Mindanao, belongs to the mariculture and trade cluster po of the Mindanao Development Corridor. So looking at it, napakahaba ang stretch ng peninsula. The very recent po natin na engagement on that one is Isabela City, which looks into the development ng mariculture ng Isabela. But definitely, yan is in collaboration with BIFAR and the National Mariculture Center kasi sa kanila yung expertise. Kami lang nagatimon, nagaguide kung ano yung kulang na kailangan natin strengthen in the region. But ang pinakamalaking technical assistance namin on the mariculture na side would be in the Altama Development Alliance, specifically LGU Mabuhay. Yung Altama, by the way, is Olotanga, Ta is Talusan, Ma is Mabuhay. Yung mariculture park natin, napakalaki dyan. And it took us 4 years in the making to finally come up with one mariculture ordinance. The study was conducted starting 2023 kasi it's like marine biophysical assessment. So, nagkaroon na tayo ng finality. Ang kailangan lang ngayon is the final yung ACC compliance, and that's gonna be operating in full scale. Napakalaki po. And we need investors coming from different parts of Mindanao at maganda if national to really operate and open. So, yan yung dalawang big ticket na that we are facilitating on the energy and the food security sector.
Okay. Ms. Cecil, you mentioned earlier about investment, no? We would like to know, kumustahin natin yung economic growth and investments po dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula?
We really do have an office in relation to investment. So I may not be the right person to answer. But specific sa amin is we are on pushing for investment leads in the region. Kasi yung final packaging yan would be our Davao office, our main office. So kami naman is looking into ano yung pwede on a per province or per city. Ano yung strength nasa city? So for example, if we look at Pagadian City, ang tinitingnan namin naman dito, since this is a government center, investment in when it comes to digitalization, because we have the Smart Regional Government Center as a plan, but anchored yan siya sa Smart Pagadian City. So that's the investment side on digitalization, and we're gonna be bringing NICP, National ICT Confederation of the Philippines. Pagadian City will be hosting the MinDACon, or the Mindanao ICT Conference, come September. And we invited actually a lot of investors on the ICT sector naman. Specific to the investment side niyan. Sabihin natin, investment in Zamboanga Sibugay, ang tinitingnan namin government side kasi yun siya. That's the Improving Growth Corridor. That's a project on connectivity. Pero magandang i-highlight siyan because these are 8 component projects entire Zamboanga Peninsula. But lead agency dyan is ang ating DPWH UPO. Lastly, I would like to highlight yung ating kami naghahanap paano siya i-connect, pero hindi kami si funding agency. Kasi TA kami. We have the Ipili Airport. So that's in collaboration with 10 government agencies po. And because of that activity namin way back 2 years ago, the problem-solving session, we were able to come up, gaano kalaki yung investment requirement for the April Airport to fully operationalize it as an airport, working airport. It will entail more than 500 million. And meron na yung appropriation po sa CAAP. So yung investment namin is pwede siyang a government project that we give technical assistance and pwede din private sector. So on the private sector naman talaga, we are looking on a lot of partners and working with, ang pinaka-na-engage namin dyan is the chamber. So I believe we're gonna queue to chamber onto that one, ma'am.
Yes, how does the Chamber of Commerce support itong mga programs on development ni Minda? I know there's a lot of room for investments pa and even development. Yes po, Ma'am Hazel.
Okay, so my perspective will be from Pagadian City and Zamboanga del Sur. I cannot speak for the other provinces and including Zamboanga City. If we go back in time, I would just like to lay down the historical relationship of MinDA and the Chamber. So for Western Mindanao office of MinDA, we first became engaged in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So that was during the 32nd Mindanao Business Conference, and it was a big thing for Pagadian City and Zamboanga del Sur to host such a huge event. So MinDA came in specifically to assist us in conducting the or gathering commitments from different agencies for the optimization of the Pagadian City seaport. So from that time on, we have been actively coordinating with them, especially with the different agencies that would man the seaport if ever it will really open for international trade. So that's one. It's easy to say, let us open the port, but yes, but after 3 years, we still have to do so much legwork, but we are doing it. So that's one way wherein we can bring in investments and even spur economic activity between different places in Mindanao and also the Bimpiaga growth corridor. Now, for other things, we have assisted MinDA specifically with their mariculture project in Sibugay. We were able to link them with one possible investor, an agricultural company, a big one here in Mindanao, a big brother. And although I don't have updates on it, I think they've already initiated their first meeting. And the chamber, as a catalyst, maintains its stance and remains very supportive of all the initiatives of the Mindanao Development Authority when it comes to economic development, no? Especially that Zamboanga del Sur recently was reported to have 40.1% poverty incidence. So we really need to spur economic activity. So among other things, MinDA has been a huge help to us and a great partner for the local chamber.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Hazel, for sharing with us no, yung mga partnership and what we are doing no, together with MinDA. Talking about partnership, we also have another partnership. And this corporation po is working with farmers. And I know that we are also focusing sa sector natin on farming, sa mga farmers natin. So we would like to know your collaboration po, Miss Jane, with the MinDA.
Okay. Before that, let me say greets ako sa mga farmers nga nagtanaw sa live karon mayong adlaw ninyo diha. Again, our project here in Zamboanga Peninsula is sustainable intensification through vegetable intercropping in Zamboanga Peninsula, Mindanao Island, co-funded by BKCF and of course with our organization. We've been doing this agricultural development program for the past 25 years now. And this is our first, first big project here in Western Mindanao. We started 2024. Okay, I'm right because I only started this role just last year. Okay. And I think with MinDA's recognition of our current project, it has placed us within the broader MinDA development agenda and even help us na ma-open yung important regional doors, including yung event today. Because we really believe that convergence between government mechanism or government organizations and of course organizations like us, we can ensure yung sustainability and hindi lang sustainability, yung scalability ng project. We are also collaborating with the provincial governments of Zamboanga del Norte, Sibugay, and Del Sur, and even with the 8 LGUs and 43 BLGUs across Zampen. Okay. And I think one of the main contribution partnering with MinDA is linkage. Linkage talaga, especially from their side, introducing us sa iba't ibang stakeholders dito sa Western Mindanao. Of course, we're not really familiar dito sa agricultural industry, and even the important players, especially I would like to mention Sir Kier. Sila talaga yung laging kasama namin pagbisita sa mga partners, even potential partners. We're looking to partner with Isabela City in Basilan. I hope so, maybe after 2 years or a year from now. I can't really say so, but we are working, since isa kasi sa main goal namin, ma-improve talaga yung livelihood ng smallholder farmers. It's such an insult that our smallholder farmers, those people producing pagkain para sa general na consumers, cannot really provide food on their own table. And usually, yung agricultural development programs is only focus sa pag-train ng mga farmers, teaching them how to grow crops. But we do things differently. Hindi lang kami nagtuturo sa farmers kung paano magtanim. We also capacitate them in terms sa pag-access ng market, pag-access ng capital or iba't ibang inputs, even capacitating them to meet food safety standards, and makapag-secure sila ng certification to really access formal markets and other industrial markets. Making them maka-engage talaga sa value chain. Naging isang problema namin sa project, especially here in Zampen, because it's not really a simple switch sa non-vegetable farmers, even yung traditional farmers natin, para maging agri-entrepreneurs. And also, we are addressing these two main issues under this project. Una, again, yung food security, and pangalawa, yung social stability. Because yung farmers kasi, kung hindi sila makapag-generate ng reliable income galing sa kanilang taniman or galing sa kanilang lupa, of course, they will become very vulnerable. And hindi lang food security, pero social stability kasi, as you know, conflict-afflicted yung Zampen. And marami na kaming success stories. You can check our page or website, ews-kt.com, or East Wasid Advisory and Extension Solutions page namin sa Facebook. Madami kaming updates doon sa project as madaming areas. And we'll be culminating our project this year. And hopefully, though it's not yet guaranteed, pero we're working on para sa phase 2 as to strengthen yung na-build na capacities ng farmers. Yun.
It's really good to hear all these projects po, no? Yung mga upcoming plans that, you know, yung ating mga partners po, hindi lang sa government, but also mga corporations, mga private institutions, and non-government organizations ay nakakatulong, because all this are all for the development of not only Zamboanga Peninsula, but of course, sa buong Mindanao. With that po, no, we would like to acknowledge again our media partners. We have questions po from them, and we also have a few more questions pa po. And first, siguro let's call Sir June Ray Tibor of Brigada News FM, Pagadian. Oh, yes po.
May buntag sa tanan, ma'am, sir. Morning po, classmates. Morning. Ang tanong ko po is sa MinDA po, yung tanong ko una. Ano po ba yung papel, mga plano ng MinDA to strengthen the economic and to solve the problem of being in a forest region, especially sa among pinalangga nga Zamboanga Peninsula. Sige, I will repeat rewind again kay murag wala nitingog di ay. Ano po yung papel ng MinDA at saka yung mga plano to strengthen the economic and to solve the problem of being a poorest region out of 18 region in the Philippines, especially sa amo ang pinalangga nga Zamboanga del Sur.
Yes. Magandang katanungan po yan. No? We talk about poverty incidents in as far as not only in Region 9 but the entire Mindanao. In fact, we received a request from Regional Development Council to assist in the conduct of the poverty analysis, the entire region. No? Just recently, our partner, ito yung role ng MinDA, is to link and to find institutional organization, particularly our international development partners, to conduct a poverty analysis study. In fact, our partner from the World Bank already come up and presented their analysis findings last Friday via online. And this was attended to by Undersecretary Balbosa of the Finance. And then we have participation from DepDev 9. We have also the participation of the DA Region 9. And more importantly, our local chief executives, headed by Governor Darrell Uy, we have Congressman Amatong, all those important entities that has a very important role and stake on this analysis. No? So with this analysis, we look forward that that our policymakers will have to develop policy agenda and policy brief because this will serve as the basis in coming up with the policy agenda. Second, with the policy agenda, this will now be translated into what will be the approach, programs, and projects in such a way that it will need to address some of these aspects. Because when we speak about poverty, it needs a multidimensional approach. So hindi lang siya one sector, one problem has a connect to one another. So it promotes also the area of convergence, yung sinasabi natin. It's not only limited to government, but including the participation of our private sector. More importantly, the participation as well of our people in the community, especially the MSMEs. So dito na po tayo ngayon. So naipresent po ng World Bank yung kanilang poverty analysis, and hopefully the team will also have a deeper analysis on it, and then coming up with what will be the appropriate policy agenda and policy brief that will be brought out of that. Thank you.
Any more follow-up?
Follow-up, sir, you mentioned Governor Darrell Uy from Zamboanga del Norte and Congressman Amatong. How about our governor here in Zamboanga del Sur, Governor Divine Agrecio, and Congressman, the two first and second district? Do you have any conversation or collaboration regarding this kind of problem, sir?
By the way, the conduct of the poverty analysis was focused first in the province of Zamboanga del Norte, because in the region, if you can have a macro perspective, it's the hardest hit, Zamboanga del Norte. So yan po yung focus muna natin ngayon. So one by one, we will focus that one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question is to Ma'am Hazelo ng Pagadian Zamboanga del Sur Chamber of Commerce. When I heard the news about the I am interested with about during your visit at the Brunei, the BIMP Yaga, about the oil supply, no? Kini nga nabalitaan mo ba nga makabarato ta kung makasupply diri sa bisa sa atuang probinsya or sa atuang region, no? Nga naay possibility niya. Unsa may kuana ni ma'am nga kanang ma-realize ba kay ang pag-angat sa presyo sa gasolina Ni us-us siya gamay, di ni kubol na. Wala na ni us-us pag yun. Murag, giganahan na lang po sila ba nga dra lang po taman sa 79. So, basin ma'am, o sa mga pamaagi sa ato nga makasulod unta ang well sa Brunei ba sa atua.
Okay, thank you for the question, Junray. Actually, before the this segment, no, we were speaking with each other and discussing things about our trade mission to Brunei. We are thankful to the Mindanao Development Authority because they co-organized the event together with the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, when we went to Brunei last year, we were able to sit down with one of the companies, no, that are engaged, one of the companies that are engaged, that is engaged with oil production and distribution. Not to mention that they are a conglomerate in Brunei. I cannot mention their name right now. But it was together with the mayor of Pagadian City, Mayor Samuel Esco. Now, it was a very good opening such that the offer to be able to procure oil or fuel from Brunei was opened, and I think what we just need is to really form the economic team of Pagadian City and perhaps with Zamboanga del Sur, because we already have contacts in Brunei. Now, our experience there was eye-opening because when we had a chance to have our service vehicle fueled, and we were just amazed because the cost of diesel when we were there was like 14 pesos per liter. Yes, in peso. So we were like, sana all. So we were excited with that opening, no? And as I mentioned that we spoke earlier with Ma'am Cecil, MinDA also has their parallel efforts to be able to get fuel from the BIMP, our partner countries, no, under the BIMP umbrella. As to the details, sir, I could not really divulge anything, but we are looking forward that in the next 3 years, I'm sorry, it's not tomorrow, because it will require so much infrastructure like the oil depot. It's better said than done. Easier said than done pala. But we are hopeful that in the next 3 years, we will be able to do something to be able to cushion, no, our locality from abrupt changes in oil prices. I think
Baka
MinDA
CS
can
can
also
add.
share something about their parallel efforts when it comes to the procurement of fuel.
Specific to that one, we actually conducted initial muna na complete staff work. And that's on the fuel na side. Pero ito siya, the very main problem is we have partners in the BIM countries, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia. The problem is, asa na to ibutang ang atong fuel nga makuha? Because what we don't have here is the depot. So looking forward, ang giingon ni Ma'am Hazel, maybe 2 to 3 years to put up that one. If we have a big partner who is willing to invest in the region, kay kita ang pinakaduol, maybe it will take a year just to put up that one. But it has to be, everything has to be, ready in terms of regulations, because that is a foreign country that we will be looking at. So depot ang ato ang problema actually. We have existing depot but with private partners nga ang makaya lang po to accommodate ang ilahang need. So karon ang ato ang ginalook into, forward-looking, and we will be framing it up by the time our secretary will be here in mid-June or sometime in June for the issues and challenges faced or is still being faced by Zampen. So hopefully we can gather a lot of issues and challenges and come up with towards one solution para ma-address ang needs sa region. Again, we are the closest region to the BIM countries. So dako kayo ta o kanang we have a big role to play kasi naasa to ang entrada. Yes.
Yes po.
So my last question is to the West said the Philippines or pwede po si MinDA. Maraming magsasakang siyentista dito sa Mindanao, particularly sa Region 10 kasi isa din ako sa nakasama doon yung sa Lilingayan, Bukidnon, napakalamig, share lang. No, ang most of that farmers is into organic way of farming. So may mga nagre-raise ng kakao, nagre-raise ng kape na hindi nahahaba yung kape sa ano na lang para hindi na mahirapan mag-ani. Meron din mint, may mga vegetables, marami magsasakang siyentista. So, do we have like this in Zamboanga Peninsula or even in Zamboanga Peninsula? And unsa ang support sa West Side Philippines and also sa MinDA to support like this farmer scientist?
Sige po, si Ma'am Jane.
Thank you sa question, Sir Junray. Okay. Nice question. Sa Region 10, meron din kaming previous na project with the Australian government, Asia Gap project. Same framework ng project. And as to answer your question kung ano yung interventions natin dito sa Zampen, sa title pa lang ng project, Sustainable Intensification through Vegetable Intercropping. So sa mga perennial crops ng farmer, rubber crops, for example, rubber trees, cacao, coconut, at ano pang fruit trees, nag-intercrop sila ng vegetables, high-value crops. Tinitrain namin sila in terms sa pag-build ng technical skills nila, and hindi lang sa pag-build ng technical skills, even yung negotiating skills nila, negotiating power, as to nag-organize kasi kami ng cluster groups. And from those cluster groups, ino-organize namin para maging civil society organizations or i-connect namin sa iba't ibang established na associations or co-ops. Tapos, isa pa sa binibigay namin sa kanila, for their first cropping cycle, binibigyan namin sila ng materials. Though it's not really that much, pero isa kasi sa technology na tinuturo natin sa kanila ay climate smart integrated crop management, kung saan gumagamit lang sila ng low cost, especially ngayon sa pag-cushion sa grabing volatility sa presyo ng agri-inputs. And we're not really introducing full organic na protocols. Since madaming areas, problema kasi dito sa Zampen, very massive and very hindi sakto yung paggamit ng chemical pesticides and herbicides. And one of our concerns in relation sa food security ay yung food safetyness ng pagkain na available para sa consumers. And one of the challenges na nakita namin, even yung farmer, hindi nila alam how safe are the produce they are producing. Kung doon sa Mindanao at sa ibang regions na may mga project kami, sineseparate nila yung mga crops nila na nilalagyan nila ng madaming pesticide, madaming pang synthetic chemicals, tapos iba din yung tanim nila for their household consumption. Pero dito, yung knowledge talaga ng farmer, kailangan mo pang i-build. Even yung pag-create ng awareness sa level ng consumers. Kasi Generally, yung consumer sa hanap lang ng gulay. So thinking na pag bumili, kumain ng gulay, that's nutritious and healthy. But it's not really. So yan yung ginagawa namin. At isa pa, after makapacitate namin yung farmer in terms sa productivity, nagfo-focus din kami sa profitability. Hindi pwedeng magtanim sila for their consumption lang, kailangan negosyo. Yun kasi problema sa mga farmers dahil usually design yung regular or mga prevailing programs na nagbibigay lang more on inputs and dole-outs. Somehow, hindi siya nakaka-create ng magandang epekto sa farmer as nasa stuck sila. There are many factors bakit nagstostall yung adoption ng farmers. Kung ano yung tinuturo natin sa kanila, kasi nagiging fully dependent sila sa pinamimigay nating libreng inputs. So kailangan mag-shell out din sila sa kanilang sariling from their own bulsa para ma-create yung sense of ownership and sense of accountability. And tinuturuan namin sila ng saktong business planning kasi before magtanim, dapat may business plan, dapat identified kung sino yung market. Yung pagtatanim nila should be market-driven. And nililink namin sila hindi lang sa traditional markets, kundi sa formal, agri-industrial, institutional markets para masigurado yung stability ng kanilang contracts, even yung pag-assist and pag-facilitate namin sa kanilang market agreements with those buyers.
Thank you, Ma'am Jane. Baka may additional po si Ms. Cecil?
Partner namin sila, BKCF, just to emphasize, that's the Bimpiaga Korean Cooperation Fund. So we leave the planting technology to our partner and the mandate ng DA yan siya. Ano yung pagtingin ni Minda when it comes into this one? Macro level kami. Unsa ang pinaka top 3 commodity ng region? So, anak mi mo tanaw, and then nakita po mi partners nga kinsay pwedeng mo salud sa region to look into this top 3 commodity or top 5. So, tanaw na to diri downtown sa province sa Zamboanga del Sur. Ang ato agyon gina-develop diri karon, looking at it at a holistic and dako gyud nga picture is the Coco Village. Bago pa lang mi collaborate with DTI. It has been informed to us way ahead, kaya lang we firm it up na lingkuran na namo because it's not small talk. Ang buhaton man gud siya, it's not small holder farmers bringing their produce mo baligya ug asa ipasok. We wanted consolidation of cocoa produce. Kaya nga siya Coco Village. Let's not go into the details of that one. Ang amo akaron plano lang would be to have and find someone, a private investor or province-led, but private-led but province yung scope of that Coco Village para makakuha tag volume. Our problem when we go to expo and exhibit, especially in the BIM countries or any other na expo nga international, would be volume. So with that problema nga volume, example na lang, cassava of Zamboanga del Norte, na ay gusto mong palit in terms of dako kay nga volume, pero not enough ang supply. Same na siya diri, tan-awo nato sa ato ang landscape sa province. Daghan kay ta sa MSMEs nato nga different nga mga produkto but kinagmay. So even if we join big expos outside, nakita nila ang ato ang mga produkto, yes na but when it comes to the volume, diha tamang problema. That is why in the context of, I think and I believe you are so aware, sir, diba we already talk about our Bimpiaga port, which is the Pagadian port, ang atong pantalan. But you know what? Ang atong main problem? Volume, backload. We already aligned everything on the part of the government and on the part of our partners outside and with the chamber. Problema, ma'am and sirs, nga ato ang volume, dili gyud siya kanang kaabot sa level para ma-sustain. So with that, ang ato ang kinahanglan ng tan-awan pa gyud ni ini would be an interagency collaboration para lang gyud, and this is not just pure government ha, because the very player ni ini would be the business sector, the private sector to collaborate with us. Again, as much as we want to bring our produce in the BIM countries because we are situated as the front door, ang atong problema, volume, backload. Because the mechanism is there, the vessel is there, problema na to volume. So I think and I believe this has to do with a lot pagyud nga mga efforts among key players, especially here in our province, Zamboanga del Sur.
One more additional po from Ms. Hazel.
With what Ma'am Cecil mentioned about the Coconut Village, the Pagadian CDS Chamber was part of the conceptualization of that because we have seen how we lost opportunities, like the Thai company that opened in Misamis Oriental came here. And we lost that opportunity because our area is not ready. They have requirements that could not pass, that, what we have could not pass. And then, but the bright spot was that when they checked our port, it passed their requirements. So the port was the only one that passed. So at least there's a bright spot on that. And for other linkages, especially with East-West Seed Company, this is their CSR. It's good that naa sila, and that if they would also give consideration for the chamber to be engaged in the project, we would be willing to have institutional buyers sa inyong mga farmers. So that's it, Ms. Myra.
Okay, thank you very much po sa mga inputs ng ating research person. Do you have additional pa, Sir Junrey?
Regarding sa dito?
Yes, go na, sir.
Mic test, mic. Okay. Abi na ako katong Coco Village ba balay to, at least nga na-explain ni ma'am, no? Abi ko naman balay to ba dayon ang gitukod kay mga kanang mga coconut nga lubi. Nabita na, just kidding aside. Dito tayo kay Ma'am East-West. We understand nga dili mo gid pwede nga abrupt changes, kailangan siya kailangan gid ang kanang sitawag aning gradually ang pag-adapt sa kani pagbalik sa organic farming, organic way kay mao po na sa Republic Act, when I remember, Republic Act 10068 or the implementation of Organic Republic Act of 2010, mo siguro na. And so, nguna na sakit kay paminahon nga ang atong i-produce is na ay mga synthetic, na ay mga hilo. Pero ang katong mga big farmers, then kita mo kaunta mga big farmers nga dili walay hilo. Then murag makuha na to ba nga we don't care kung unsa inyong kanon, importante nga ang pamilya is safe. So sakit siya una na ba. So muna mga organic advocates nga lisod man gyud kaayo gyud, pero unta dili lang sa East West, even sa Department of Agriculture unta nga matutukan ba ang mao nga Republic Act kay mura man na sit aside siya labi na sa mga issue na to dahil karon sa Senate. So, moro po akong ipahabol po.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And to add sa sinabi mo, and building on sa sinabi ni Ma'am Ces earlier, yung sa volume, yung sa inadequate na supply talaga, kung i-contrast mo sa demand, that is one of the biggest challenges namin dito sa Zamboanga. Generally kasi yung soil health at nutrition dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula very depleted na talaga. Very depleted. Even if gaano kadaming agri-inputs yung ilagay, yun lang talaga yung mabibigay as very depleted dahil sa long-term and heavy use ng herbicides. So yan yung ina-address namin ngayon. Tapos may mga pest and disease na pabalik-balik na kailangan i-disrupt. So maraming challenges, and again, it's not really a simple switch na mag-adapt lang yung farmer sa technologies na tinuturo natin, or even yung whole transition nila to being an agri-entrepreneur na mindset or farmer. Kasi maraming factors kung bakit sila somehow masasabi nating risk-averse, I would say. May mga previous na programs or projects na na-burn na sila. Na-burn talaga. Oo, past experiences. Which is malaking epekto sa kanila din. And after all, yung kailangan talaga, it's not really heavy investment in terms sa inputs, but more on yung sa enterprise development. Kasi once na nakapag-cluster ng farmers, nakakonsolidate, nakapag-connect ng malaking market, at hindi lang sila nakabenta, may repeat na purchase yung market nila, hindi lang twice, hindi lang thrice, pero yung long-term na contract, diyan ka mas nakakapool at makakapag-inganyo ng mas maraming farmer. And sa ngayon, sa phase 1 namin, we are establishing demo plots. 600 individual farmers with their own demo plots na kina-cluster. And even we are also establishing knowledge sharing and learning centers, at least 2 per province, para kung sino yung farmer leader doon at sino yung na-expose sa technology, at even hindi lang technology, sila yung maging advocates natin.
Thank you very much, no? Thank you, Sir Junray, for that question. Very engaging yung ating discussion on that matter. Next, we have our media partner from Wonder Radio Pagadian. We have Sir Rogie Monera.
Hello, mic check. Yes, my good morning, sir. That's MinDA. Focus ako sa akong pangutana about ani bitawng papel ninyo aning about sa atong ekonomiya o ingon man sa atong tourism. Ilabi na diri sa Mindanao kay grabe man gyud ang pag-ubos, no. Di nato ikalilong aning mga panahon na nagyoy mga challenges, no, ato ang mga programa sa gobyerno. Sa inyo ang habig po diha, sir. Unsay sukdanan ninyo? Masulti ba ninyo nga epektibo paghihapon ang inyong mga palisiya in terms aning mga pag-agni natong turista, paglambo sa atong ekonomiya aron nga makadanitag investor sponsor sa ato ang MinDA?
Una sa lahat, yung indicators natin kung bakit yung ating mga tourist destination ay naging open, it's because nalip na po yung executive order, yung pagdeklara ng state of emergency in Mindanao. Kasi yan yung unang hakbang na ginawa ng MinDA pagkat ito ay nakakatulong also sa pagpasok ng mga international development partners natin in providing further assistance sa ating mga community. So, isa yan. Pangalawa, we strengthened our link with the TIESA, yung tourism infrastructure natin, no? Ito ay malaga kasi para naman magkaroon ng access yung ating mga tourist destinations as well, no? Third is MinDA is closely working with the CAAP Aerodome, the DOTR, because what pertains the concerns of the tourists right now, especially yung mga backpackers natin, is the connectivity. Not limited to transportation but the air connectivity as well, no? So kabahagi yan yung pagsasagawa ng market study. Hindi kasi ganun kadali na mag-open tayo ng flight, no? So there has to have a study on that kasi may investment din. But MinDA is really looking at this, no? So because tourism is a component or sector that provides lots of opportunities, especially the women's, to be participating in these economic activities as well.
Go ahead, Ma'am Hazel.
Okay, the Mindanao Development Authority conducted an event, but that was in Manila. Kasi the embassies and the economic teams from New Zealand, Canada, the US, I'm not so sure if there's another one, but I'm sure about the three, were present. And personally, I marketed the tourist destinations of Zamboanga Peninsula. Unfortunately, the Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga City, and Sibugay were not represented, but Isabela City was there, the tourism officer of Isabela City. So we were able to link Isabela City with the economic representatives of those three countries, and that was organized by the Mindanao Development Authority. Now, for other initiatives also, we keep on consulting MinDA with the linkages because hassle-free travel is a priority, no, for our tourists. And that includes having the right travel modalities, no, including mga terminals and things like that. And one is even the inter-regional connectivity. So the chamber has also initiated talks with Sulu Chamber, and we hope they will be coming over for the 2026 Business Week and 3rd Zamboanga Peninsula Investment Conference, so that we can really sit down and agree on certain terms and conditions about having direct flights from Pagadian City to Sulu, considering that Sulu province is now part of Region 9. And MinDA has a big role in this.
We are actually firming up. It's under study right now, yung Zamboanga natin to Sulu for the flight, para may continuity na. And there was even 2 years ago, request also for the Zamboanga KK, etc. So lahat po, it's not really easy because we are dealing with commercial owners ng mga planes natin. But it's on the table, meaning to say ongoing yung mga discussion. Nahirapan tayo ngayon to revive it because of the Middle East crisis. Pero again, hindi naman po siya nawala sa agenda natin. Nandyan pa rin siya because connectivity is really our main concern. Because kailangan talaga natin to boost our region when it comes to tourism. Provider kasi siya ng economic, activities. So, diha ang kwarta daghan. So, kailangan nato really to push na ang ato ang lugar is ready for, tourists coming in. And ato ang mga facility also in all the key cities ready as well. Ayun.
In addition pa, Ms. Myra, also during the trade mission trip to Brunei, it was opened up because we had a meeting with the tourism authority nila or a representative. Anyway, if we look at Brunei, several offices or institutions are actually government-owned. So when you say the tourism, that office, it's actually partly government. So we also took, some of their insights because, like for example, if we open tourism to them, we need to have halal establishments. So just looking at the BIM area, they have also requirements that we cannot provide. So that's their market. And I personally asked them, if we are gonna offer tourism prospects for you, what are the top priorities? So first is halal. No, they have halal accommodation, even especially food, and shopping, shopping, and the natural tourist destinations that we are able to offer. I think we have to sit down together with the local governments to be able to create the tourism development plans. Well, for Region 9, there has to be a tourism development plan so that all the agencies concerned, including MinDA, can put in their contribution.
Okay, thank you very much po. Any follow-up, Sir Rogie?
Follow-up question, ma'am, no? Sabay kay mga factors gani hinay yung kay pagkuan sa ato ang mga tourism naka-apekto bagyo kaha ang kanato ang economic crisis o political crisis kay wala mag minus gyud kaayo atong mabati sa kuan nga atong mga tourist ato sa mga Osmeña mao gyud sagad maabot sa mga reklamo nga wa kaayo lahi na sa una so daghang nawad-ag trabaho niini unsa bay mga factors ninyo diha nga marekomenda ngadto sa gobyerno ka niini.
Okay, MinDA is busy with CAAP, making sure that our airports are ready. In fact, I think they were able to fast-pace the development of the Dipolog Airport. And Pagadian City is waiting for its turn. Because we had a meeting talaga with CAAP. Talking about the aerodromes, the airports. So, dito gani ko naka-learn unsa nang apron sa airport. Ang airport din na ay apron. Do you know what the apron is? So, the airport has an apron. So, meeting with them, we learn a lot of things also. Now, when it comes to our local tourism, private sector na lang ang mo answer, we need considering that tourism is a major economic driver, we really need the intervention of the local government units because localized man gud ato ang tourism. Now, if we do not make it a priority or that if infrastructure for tourism is not a priority, then we cannot expect returns or we cannot expect visitors to come over. So I joke with the ato ang local chief executives nga if possible our tourism development plans should be in place and stop making the beauty pageants as the foremost tourism event of the municipalities because wala siya turnover sa investments. Now, if we really want to be serious about things, involve the private sector also. Because it's difficult to move forward if the private sector doesn't even have a roadmap for the tourism sector, So I think that's the perspective of the private sector. Also, the private sector to know where the investment priorities are. Like for local investment and incentives na ordinances, they should be in place or our CLUP should be in place. So I hope that the LGUs can strengthen this para daghan ta turista nga maabot pod.
Thank you po. I think we can all agree that tourism really plays a big role in the development of a province, of a region. So with that, I think meron pa po tayong mga few questions from our media partners. Next to us is Sir Elmer Maghanoy of Media Link Pagadian.
Good morning. Happy kay tanong nga at least nga na ang MinDA, na ang chamber na po sa NGO. So, ang usa sa akong pumunta na sa MinDA, focus na din sa flights kay umamanigisgutan ninyo. Nahinumdum ko sa una, 2 years naman siguro to. Si Mayor nag-ingon nga gusto siya nga mo-open og international flights plus ang MinDA pod niingon pod nga napod sila plano na what is the status sa ato ang airport? Matuman ba na or tama na sa planning?
As far as the April 15 meeting is concerned in Makati, that's the MinDC JPP, Mindanao Development Corridor Joint Planning and Programming. Yes, diha ang mga DOTR, CAAP, tanan diha galingkod. So interregional nga concern na siya. So sir, specific to the Pagadian City na Airport, 3-year ang iyahang budget appropriation which started last year. There is an ongoing rehabilitation and this year naasad and for next year. And we are looking forward na in a year's time na rated na flight, meaning to say na natay evening na flight. And I hope you understand that we have an existing problema diha all because of the dili masira. Ang isa ka portion, walay perimeter fencing pwedeng ibutang because of the contested area. Of course, that's under the legal jurisdiction of CAAP and they are the best authority to respond to that one. Kung kanusan na masira para ongoing or dire-diretso ang ato ang ongoing rehab para manhimo na siya night-rated na flight. Meaning to say, maka-add on na ta og mga flights. So, as to the, napo na siya mga other portion nga gina-rehab para sa runway. So that is for Pagadian City. For all other airports sa region, kana, nagkudumida kung kanang murag kalambigitan sa ilaha because we really talk with them kung unsa ang kailangan. SIM, Dipolog, night-rated na flight. And then, for Sibugay is to fully operationalize add-on for the runway. And para po sa ato ang Zamboanga International Airport, sa existing one, ang ato ang phase 3 nga gina-rehab karon nga dapat siya ma-continue good siya because we need to have kanang dili na ta gusto ma-disrupt nga tong mga flights kay pag mag-start nga to ang phase 3 sa existing airport ma-disrupt nga itong mga flights, ladies and gentlemen. Move down siya, downgrade siya, katulang mga ginagmay nga plane because ipa-full-blown ang rehab. So, ang among gina-address karon, ang among gina-look forward nga to address would be the closing of that portion of the ZIA nga i-close when phase 3 comes in. Meaning to say, mag-shift ang mga flight into Pagadian, Dipolog, muna gina-prepare na to po ang ato ang mga other airports. But the ones doing the dirty job, kaap na siya. Ang amuhaan nagatanaw, nagatimon, how can we discuss with national agencies to look into the concerns of the different airports in terms of connectivity.
So, asang problema ma'am, sa LGU or sa CAAP?
Ana sa kaap ang sa legal man to nga konteksto. Oo. Kasi dugay na siya nga dapat bayaran na ni kaap pero ang katong settler dito na as like concern. So it's on the legal aspect po ng kaap, not the LGU.
How about sa budget? Kung mabayaran na o di ba madugay within this year or next year?
That's under kaap as well.
Ang budget na gihapon din na wala?
Yes, kaap man na siya, sir. yes, naa sa ilaha.
Additional po, yes.
To that. Actually, we've also been in talks with MinDA and CAAP. If we cannot do the we cannot have flights, international flights for passengers. If it is possible to have international flights for cargo. Kasi dili siya pareha og requirements, and I think lesser requirements for cargo. It was also Mindanao Development Authority that organized the trade mission to Singapore in 2022. And that's where we learned that Singapore requires so much seafood and other food items because Singapore really does not produce food. Now, the only way to bring seafood to them as quickly as possible would be, through air, no? Kasi madugay siya if we use the boat, and I think it is more feasible if it's via air cargo. The problem is back to the volume because Singapore requires a minimum of 500 tons per delivery.
Per item.
Per delivery.
Delivery.
At least 500
Bahalag
tons.
mix.
Yes, mixed seafood, 500 tons per delivery. So where will we get 500 tons per delivery? That's still our problem, the production side. So there are a lot of efforts, but if one component cannot satisfy, no, the formula will not be effective. Thank you, Sir Elmer.
Thank you, Sir Hazel.
So,
Ma'am Hazel,
salamat
sir.
kay ma'am kay nahisgutan maguto ni ma'am sa una naka-question po ko sa una nga lisod ang magbutang tag international flights labi na og dili cargo kay ang mga tao daghan kay og requirements. Mao man ang istorya ni ma'am, di ba? Pero at least nga happy ko na kay og matuman na amot agahat ang mga tag requirements na. Ang last na ko ma'am no, ang ato ang pantalan ba? Naningkamot man ang LGU, makita na to nga naningkamot niya. Gani, ang partner maning sa MinDA o kani sa kuan sa chamber. Napagay posibilidad na apo yung biyahe ana.
Sige, Sir Morag. Ako yun, ana, ang utubag, Sir Bakre. Ang institutional memory on the part of MinDA is ako. A lot of efforts, ako nagyong nabutang din ha. Maski pag may last kagahapon, yes, sir. Why? Ang dako kay siyang trabaho. Because, ang atong ginahisgutan din ha, CIQS, Customs, Immigration, Quarantine, Security. Kana, on the part of the government, plansyado na, sir. Karon ato ta sa private sector na to. Tulo na co-operators ang atong napangulitawhan. Daghan na kay trabaho in the past 3 years. Pero ang problema, backload, volume. Because ganito, sir, magpasulod tag barko, of course, maagi man gyud tag Zamboanga, no? Kay mutuyok man gyud siya. So be it local, Manila, Cebu, and or Bimpiaga, tuyok gyud gapon ka, agi ka Zamboanga. Now, natig nga tawag pilotage. Kana siya, for a certain vessel nga isa, nga mo traverse in and out, going to Pagadian City, for a bigger vessel, 800,000, pilotage pa lang. Kana iba tang murag imo hang gitugway, aw ka nang giguide ang usa ka vessel. And then, kung sa mubo nga mga barko, standard, that's 500,000, pilotage pa lang. Question again, pabalik pagawas sa barko, unsay sulod? Namin na storya nga katug yung Marina Standard, Bimpiaga. The thing is, backload ang problema. So again, balik ta sa backload. So kung kana lang nga aspekto nga effort, we have done a lot of engagement. Since ang vessel nga dako-dako, magproblema sa backload, nangita na pod may katong gamay na lang sa non-conventional. Dito ta sa kanang mga barter trading bitaw, sir. O giwala na sa ato as a mainland ang barter trade, kaya na siya sa BARM as per an EO issued by during that time of FPRRD. Karon, naamay gialaw nga musulod pero sa Zamboanga City. Ilahang gi-explore ang Pagadian City. Ang pangutana na po, say backload ninyo. Kami, kung nangulitaw sa mga private sector, diring dapita, amo na yun ang gibuhat. Karon, what we did was, okay, ginagmay nga partner, di man gid makahatag og volume. Nabi ito yung requirements, sir, nung pagawas ng isa ka produkto, maagi bitag quarantine sa tao, quarantine sa hayop, quarantine sa pagkaon, sa plants, ingon ana. So we talk and we discuss with one, I cannot mention the name muna, of one cooperative na pwedeng mo-consolidate og products diri nga parte sa ato ang region. They are very much willing to engage. So again, nalipay mi kay hayag-hayag kay naa natin nakuha. Kaya ang pag-consolidate, it entails much. Marais, maunsa na siya nga commodity, big good na nga volume, kailangan kag dato diha ang cooperative nga naay kwarta. You remember the backload concerns again. So willing sila. What was really good in that engagement namo last year was they revised their kanabitang policies sa ilang cooperative for import and export. Meaning to say, nga i-allow sila, of course, regulated sila, para makasulod og mga produkto diri sa region ug makagawas. So, kana man gud atong ginapangita, sir, kana bitang legally pwedeng magpadagawas og produkto. So, kana siya napanday na pud na namo siya. So, karon lastly, unsa pa man gyud ang kulang, daghan ra gyapon na siya kulang, but at least we also saw the effort of the city looking forward nga mahimong economic enterprise nila ang connectivity locally and internationally. So I believe this would be addressed and answered by the city on their plans of purchasing their vessel, because the least that we can do is really, I mean, for the city is for them to have that vessel nga city-owned. All because mas gamay ang gasto if it will be operated by the city. All because dili naman siya private nga parlance ang pagpadala, ang pag-operate. Kasi again, if it will be private-led, grabe kamahal. Yes, muangal because mutuyag mong good siya. And the reality right now is, ang ato ang mga ginabaligya diri sa Pagadian, usamis na siya from Manila, from Cebu, usamis. Dak din ha, mag-land trip na pod padulong og Pagadian. Oo. And then the other one would be ituyok yun, munang mas mahal. Kailangan i-subsidize again ni Pagadian City. So I think looking into all the efforts daghan kay tag nabuhat, but then again, like gi-mention ni ma'am, pag naaga ni isa din ha nga dili ma-satisfy nato ang requirements, especially backload, medyo apiki. Oo. But we will continue to do our best na ma-push through good na siya, and looking forward now that can really add up to the economic development po ng Pagadian City and the entire province as well.
Additional, ma'am? Yes.
Yes. For the private sector, Sir Elmer, we were able to join the BIMP-IAGA ministerial meeting. It's a high level meeting of the ministers of BIMP. One important aspect of that meeting was they gave the BEBC, the BIMP-IAGA Economic Business Council, that's the private sector counterpart, if I may say, of the government arm. No? So we also had the BEBC meeting. And one of the key personalities of the BEBC Philippines, no, I spoke with him about bringing in his vessels. And then he said nga, Zamboanga City, I said, no, non-negotiable. It should dock at Pagadian City. So efforts like that can be pursued if really the government agencies would also help. Ano siya, that non-traditional, what was non-conventional vessel siya. They already ship agricultural items, I think, to Brunei and Malaysia. So there's already an opening. Now that was November. If I may lang yun no suggest for the LGUs to already create economic teams. Because the Chamber of Commerce, as small as we are, we can only do so much. Ma-leverage man good nato ni siya nga opportunities if the LGUs are on board. And the commitment is there to pursue these things kasi sayang, naa naman good. Pagadian is one of the unique cities that have both an airport and a seaport. So I hope we can really use this, maximize, optimize the operations for economic development.
Thank you.
So lastly ma'am, salamat kayo at least nga basin og ang efforts nga gihimo sa MinDA o sa business sector matuman na para maabot na ng barko sa city government. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Elmer. Next po, let's call in Stanley Dueñas of XFM Pagadian.
May buntag sa tanan. Ako ang usar akong pangutana, pero makasabot man mo binisaya, sir, no? Okay. Tagaan ako emphasis sa akong pangutana nga follow-up sa pangutana sa kong kauban gina sa brigada. Ang akong pangutana mao nga imong giskutan kaganina nga admitado magita base sa datos nga ang Zamboanga Resort ikaduha siya sa pobre base sa poverty incidence. Ang una is ang Zamboanga del Norte. O gimong gingong kaganina nga ang Zamboanga del Norte mao say dito sa mo focus. Bot bay pasabot ni ini nga ikahuman niyo focus sa Zamboanga del Norte isunod na ang Zamboanga del Sur o kung isunod ang Zamboanga del Sur, sir, kanus aman.
Actually, yung poverty analysis, hindi lang siya nag-cover ng isang probinsya. Entry point lang ng poverty analysis study is yung province of Zamboanga del Norte. But during the presentation ng World Bank, it captures the whole provinces of the region. So, since bago pa lang na-presenta yan with the presence of Yusek Balbosa and another undersecretary from National Poverty Commission, no? Hindi ko ma-remember, and some national figures including our local chief executives, we will wait for another rounds of meeting again on what will be the immediate and medium-term approaches that will be conducted by the team. So, ganun siya.
Salamat po. Ang ikaduha na kong pangutana, sir, unsay mensahe sa MinDA sa mga gustong mamumuhunan nga nagduha-duha paghihapong magnegosyo din his Mindanao?
Yeah. We would like, MinDA naman, we are encouraging them to invest in Mindanao because Mindanao can offer a lot of potentials when it comes to the resources that they have. Like for example, in Sampen, we have a vast coastlines and people here are very warm, no? So we are advocating, particularly Sampen, is not the back door. It's a very strategic area because it serves as the front gate for the Bimpiaga and ASEAN. That's why MinDA is doing its effort, especially on the aspect of connectivity. And of course, our produce that will compete us to neighboring countries. Not only that, but also to satisfy also the local demands ng ating products so that it can spur economic opportunities and activities locally muna. O, ganun yung pagtingin namin. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. Yes po, Ma'am Hazel.
Okay, this is also in line with the thrust of MinDA to have ang ilahang work with the energy sector, no? The chamber was able to connect in the trade mission to Indonesia a possible Indonesian investor for waste to energy for Pagadian City. So just the other, I think Friday, the Indonesian consulate in Davao City already contacted us if we can have, if we can send information that they need for their initial study so that they can come here and visit Pagadian City. So together with MinDA, we are intensifying also our connections, especially that somehow the bigger investors are not here, although it would be good if local ang atong mga investors, but financially I think ang naay capability with those are those who come from other countries or possible from other regions. So we have to maintain good open communication with them and to ang linkages with them, dili na to sayangon. Sometimes we can say nga, oy, gasto ta, we travel a lot, but the investment that we put in when it comes to the creation of relationships, putting that in place and talking about business, essential na siya. So that in the long term, we can really convince them to come. It was also during the business mission in Brunei, wherein our group went to the Brunei Innovation Center together with MinDA Secretary Magno, and we saw there how they are able to help their startup companies. So isa na siya. But still, balik ta sa government agencies that are, supposed to be the enablers of all of these things.
Thank you po. Thank you very much. One more po we have from Pagadian News Channel, Sir Dodds Marzon.
Good morning, ma'am and sir. Sa ako, gamay lang yung pangutana. Isip MinDA, nakapokus yun sa development sa Mindanao. Ang sagid ka importante ang tourism infrastructure sa probinsya o kada syudad din sa, and of course, there is Pagadian City.
Tourism infrastructure can be, kana bito ato ang mga like mga parks that can be part and mga infra on kanang asa mo adto ang mga mga turista. Daghan na tagnabot ana for the region. And then even kanang mga as simple as the CR na tourist rest area kana siya. But do remember that they cannot do so much because dili pud siya pwedeng equally ang tanan mahatagan. DOT in particular. Ang rules sa MinDA diha would be if there are mga proposals coming from each LGU nga ilahang i-submit, what we can do is facilitate, lobby their proposal because our Secretary Leo Tereso A. Magno, is a sitting member of the board ng TIESA. So ang amo arag yung role din ha would be to facilitate a project proposal. So, coming from Pagadian City, I think we have not received any proposal nga pwede namang i-pass, i-lobby for TIESA. But then again, yes, it's very important nga we are Pagadian City as the richest component city nga ato ang maikapahambog. Dapat in place diri ang ato ang as simple as a CR, tourist rest area, kay nagabisita diri a lot because naaputi connectivity mango diri. So dapat ready ang ato ang city to handle influx of tourists. One testament is that even just the mere opening of the Robinsons, di ba, naga-come in ang ato ang mga neighboring municipalities. Yes. Pero ang pangutana, ana sila, if they go out of the Robinsons area and tuyok-tuyok to appreciate what we have in the city, dapat nag-take tourist infra na project para mailahang maatuan. We have the park, sa tawag sa Plaza Luz, that's one. Pero dapat siguro ato siyang more i-enhance ang atong Plaza Luz para lang siya ka-accommodate og additional tourist influx, especially again concerning health and sanitation. Kana diha. What we can do so right now is lobby to DOT9 sa kana nga konteksto. Baka wala pa naka-propose si city.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes po, may addition po.
Okay. We have to go back to the tourism development plan or the roadmap because tourism is a convergence of all sectors, not only government. Now, the private sector can come in if kapalo ang private sector, asa siya musulod, diba? In the plan, in the roadmap. Now, for Pagadian City and Zamboanga del Sur, there are a lot of opportunities. In fact, we have so many tourism activities that we can offer. One of these, ang initiative sa chamber, because I met somebody nga naa siya sa group sa free divers, no? Free diving group. They are proposing, we are proposing to them that they will have free diving activities here in Iliana Bay. But still, the question is how do we come in sa general scheme or in the roadmap, the tourism roadmap of the province or of the city. Kana siya. So we have to be engaged, we have to be informed, and there should be really sincerity on the part of government to really let private sector be involved.
Thank you po once again. Thank you po sa ating mga media partners. No, all this discussion po, we are all looking forward for the development progress po ng Zamboanga Peninsula. And before we end our program, of course, we would like to hear messages from our guest this morning. Let's first hear from Miss Jane Candol Llanera, the Knowledge Transfer Manager po ng East West Seed Company Incorporated.
Okay. Sa mga farmers nato diha sa Zamboanga Peninsula and across Mindanao nga namati og nagtan-aw karon, what we are building now sa Zampen CV project is not for you sa sunod or not for you in the future, but it is for you now. Kung unsa ang inyohang gitrabaho sa inyohang yuta karon, kung unsa ang inyohang existing crop, ato na siyang dungagan. Ang among champion clusters and champion farmers are not exceptional people with exceptional resources. Parihara sila gihapon sa inyo nga nag-decide magsugod, nag-decide mag-add og usa duha ka crop sa ilahang existing coconut trees or rubber trees, nag-decide mag-add og business plan or farm business school sa ilahang kalendar, nag-decide to connect sa existing na nga co-ops, and nag-decide to negotiate sa lahi-lahi nga markets. I am not telling you nga take sa risk nga bago, pero we have so many success stories. And that is what we are offering sa amuhang program karon. And while naa pa ang amuhang program sa Zampen and open pa mi para sa bag-o nga mga farmers to onboard, so pwede ra mo maka-message sa amuhang Facebook page or bisita diretso sa PLGUs nga agri-offices. Daghang salamat ug maayong adlaw sa tanan.
Thank you very much. Next po, we have again Ms. Hazel Lu, the President po ng Pagadian Zamboanga del Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Foundation Incorporated.
Okay, before anything else, I would like to thank the MinDA Western Mindanao Area Management Office. Sir Carly and Ma'am Cecil are here. Thank you because you have allowed PZCCIFI to be part of your initiatives. And I'm sure that the future is bright for us. The future is bright for Mindanao. We should continue to love Mindanao. We should be the first ones to showcase Mindanao to the world. And the work of the chamber is such that our advocacy for better lives and livelihoods will continue. Kasi the economy is very important for everyone. We have to be able to establish an environment that is conducive for business. And I will also take this opportunity to invite all businessmen in Pagadian and Zamboanga del Sur. And recently, the board and the officers have agreed that we can now accept applicants, membership applicants from other areas who are willing to do business here in Pagadian City. So thank you also PIA for hosting this event, And kana lang siguro. Thank you very much and God bless us all.
Thank you po. And of course, we have from the MinDA Western Mindanao, we have again Ma'am Cecil Laplana, Development Management Officer 3.
Thank you so much to our partners present with us this morning. We haggled for their time and yes, they made it. Gusto lang na ako ipakita a very concrete example of MinDA's technical assistance na pwede natong i-highlight, and we all would like you, everybody, to look forward would be the Improving Growth Corridors in Mindanao Road Sector Project nga kinigid siya amuang ginahulat makonect na ang ato ang Olotanga Island to Zamboanga Sibugay mainland. Hopefully, third quarter of this year, once it's there, once it's connected, it will be inaugurated no less than our president, and that's the first pinakataas nga bridge in Zamboanga Peninsula. That is actually a very concrete example of MinDA's technical assistance because we are behind that one in the conceptualization stage. Ug kana siya magina siya ang makaingon niya very concrete nga amo ang nabuhat diri sa ato ang region. That in itself would become a very good nga bridge to our tourism, specifically Zamboanga Sibugay visiting the island. So again, thank you kayo, and of course to PIA 9 for this platform, and this would not have been possible without, of course, the effort of MinDA's Public Relations Office. Right now, in this room, we have the presence of the OIC Chief, Miss Cathy Yun. Yeah, the beautiful Miss Cathy. Thank you so much for having this platform, for this engagement. Mayong buntag Zamboanga Peninsula.
Thank you, Ma'am Cecil. And of course, Development Management Officer 5 po ng MinDA Western Mindanao. Again, we have Sir Carlos Cerezo.
Yes, on behalf of our principals, Secretary Leo Magno, Undersecretary Janet Lopos, Assistant Secretary Romeo Montenegro, we thank everyone for providing us this platform, our partner, the PIA, and of course, our colleague from the PRD, headed by Miss Katimar, for providing us this opportunity to once and for all na iparating sa lahat kung ano yung mga programa na ating ginagawa in as far as Zamboanga Peninsula is concerned. Ang panawagan lang po namin ay sa usaping development, dapat tayo ay magkaisa at magtulungan because after all, it will be me, you, our constituents that we will be accounted for. So maraming salamat po at magandang umaga.
Maraming salamat muli. Maraming salamat po sa Mindanao Development Authority. Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataong ito. No? Sana po marami pong nakuhang mahalagang impormasyon ng ating mga panauhin, yung ating media partners and of course ang ating mga live viewers. Muli nga po, no, let's emphasize again na sama-sama po tayong magtulungan for the development of our region. And of course, hanggang sa susunod po natin na episode po ng Kapihan sa Rehiyon, Nueve. Thank you very much to our PIA Kapihan technical team for making this episode possible. And we would like to greet our Assistant Regional Head po ng PIA Region 9, Sir Emmanuel Taghoy. Happy birthday po. Ayun, kung nanonood ka po, no, happy birthday. Muli po sa ngalan ng PIA Director General Catherine Chloe De Castro at PIA 9 OIC Jocelyn Alvarez. Ito si Myra Espinosa. Again, muchísimas gracias. Daghang salamat.